Welcome back to another episode of the Gap Down Backer podcast. Today we have Coach Matt Christensen with us. He's the defensive coordinator at Brandon Valley High School in Brandon, South Dakota. Coach, how you doing?
Awesome. How about you, Coach?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I mean, we talked a little bit before our comparing dreary weather, your snow and my constant rain that we're experiencing at the moment. Um, Kind of for coaches who don't know you, just kind of want to give them your background real quick, how you ended up at Brandon Valley and kind of your experiences.
Yeah, for sure. I'm from Yankton, South Dakota, kind of a legendary football program around here. Um, and lucky to play there and lucky to go to Augustana University in Sioux Falls, South Dakota to play. I've been coaching Brandon Valley High School since 2003 when our head coach, Chad Garrell, let me coach the linebackers, for free and put in all kinds of hours. Everybody knows how that is. But then he made me the DC when I was 25, and just really honored to be that since then. Super thrilled about it. Just we've been winning a lot of games. We got 14 conference titles, and we've been the state title holders in 2018 and 2020. We've got some runners up lately, and just been really got some momentum going thanks to Chad Garrell, our head coach.
Well, that's awesome, Coach. And what was that with getting the DC job so young? What was that kind of transition learning experience like for you?
It was quick. It was hurry up and figure it out because he's an awesome mentor, though. Garrow is, and we had wonderful assistants at the time, and still do. We're just constant continuity is just always here. Everybody loves coaching here. We're lucky. We get all kinds of wonderful, supportive families. But when I was a kid, I remember, doing some things that we had done in college, like, kind of stemming from a 4-3 and a 3-4 and trying to confuse offenses that way. And had a lot to learn about coverages, having been a linebacker. And Garrow did an awesome thing one year. He made me coach corners. And he just kind of shuffled our DB guy to linebackers and our defensive line guys around a little bit, just making us learn all we can. And constantly going to clinics. We've been to Glacier, I don't know how many times, and we visited FCS programs too, and FBS as well. So always learning. And as a young man, I was fortunate to be around a lot of really knowledgeable people, and we always just try to follow the mantra of, use your kids in the best ways to accentuate their abilities.
Okay. And today, I mean, we're going to talk some cover one rat. What is that for you guys? Do you want to kind of show our listeners / viewers kind of what that is?
Yeah,
I mean,
you bet.
I think a lot of us in the coaching world have a kind of a decent idea of what it is, but everybody's got a little bit different variation of how
Yep,
they run it or what it is. What does that look like for you guys?
exactly. Well, for a while there, we were straight 4-2, and we'd never have a heavier box than 6 guys, and we'd always have a post safety. We'd either run a cover 3. We'd show sometimes 7 across. We'd have a 4 front almost always, but 7 across. There's just no way to have any idea what we're running, and we just either spin to cover 3 or some kind of cover 1, or then we could get to 2 read on each side with a high safety as well. So we called that Tampa, that we're running 2 read on each side. It was pretty cool, but. As we evolve and change with different personnel and different schemes, let me just share my screen here. Yes, okay, yep. So cover 1, we kind of have a series where we try to show it all the time, and we'll either be showing it or running it, but we don't want to let the quarterback know exactly who has who at all times, because otherwise it'd be a long night for us. We just try to minimize windows, and we just try to get pressure with 4 as much as we can, sometimes with 3. We don't want to give them all kinds of space to throw, because kids are coached better than ever these days. Here in this game, we'll be playing a kid who just committed to FBS Big Ten school. His name's Jacob Knuth, and he's a real class act. 6'4" and 210, throws it around the yard pretty good. So we just wanted to make sure that we're confusing him and giving him things to think about. I want to give Dylan Brees a quick shout out as well. Super intelligent guy, does an awesome job with our coverages, making sure we're running a ton, but not too much. He's got a great pulse on what our kids know. Super brief, just having success. A lot of guys do. We love it, and we've had wonderful offenses who control the clock. That's more than That's more than anything up here in the Midwest, where clock football is the big thing, with South Dakota State and North Dakota State setting that bar high. So, nice and simple. We'll mix it up here, and we call our guys different things per side of the ball, and we try to give them names that'll match, the role, and make sure that they understand that the words we're going to say are going to apply to their position and make real good sense here. We'll disguise sometimes, and sometimes we just won't even bother. Sometimes we don't have time. The offenses are coming fast. And this Rover guy here, he's sometimes our fifth DB, being a 4-2 for years there. We just never wanted to get beat on the shake post. Ones are running hitches. One of the slots running a flag or a post corner, and the other guy's running a post. It's just a ton of space to cover. It's been hurting us if we don't get pressure and or reroutes underneath. So we're tired of that. The Mike and Will here are going to funnel, or as I've read, we sometimes call it combo. But we'll run all kinds of games as well. We try to cancel gaps, like a lot of good coaches have taught me and shown me. Try to just make it messy for them. Everything looks awesome on the whiteboard until guys start moving all over the place. But been fortunate, really blessed with a lot of good, talented kids. And we're going to mix this up, with edge guys who can man the running back, or, in a lot of pedal situations, or can be the rat as well. And I'll just kind of get to our thought process here. In this first one here, we're running a sub package, and we've got up on top, we've got deep help, and on the shallow side here, on the bottom, we got some shallow help. We try to make sure that guys are on an island only if they're special athletes. And this team runs a lot of RPOs, a lot of really intelligent stuff where they freeze you and then they want to look at you and check back at the sideline, and they're doing their absolute best to put their kids in the best position. It's Harrisburg High School out of South Dakota, just south of Sioux Falls. Exceptional program. But as you can see here, we're showing a lot of heat, and they're going to freeze us. And we're going to drop an edge guy on the bottom, and then up top we'll give help, because that's where we like some matchups, getting some help. You can see the free safety taking off there. And it's a real nice ball. I think we get called for PI here, but we're causing them problems, we hope and think. Manning this running back and getting our good edge rusher up top, getting a good bull rush there, just making that window hard to get that ball in there. He about does, but this is one of our mix-ups, and our bottom guy is our rat, and he's doing too much caring about the running back. He's not getting middle enough there.
Okay. I mean, that's one thing I did notice as you were talking, just your rat player there is held a little bit by the back.
Yep. We've got to coach him up better and get him better reps at that, and get his eyes right. Eyes on that quarterback where he can really flow and get to the right spot. Here we'll just, we try to say that mitt, Mike and tackle twist. So it makes sense. It's not just some random word that guys will throw out. We want the kids to help them make sense. And the stud and end here, we want these guys to be athletic enough to be, kind of bigger linebacker guys, if not straight up linebackers. Oftentimes at a 2-point stance, we'll coach it with the outside foot up. And if they're bailing to rat, to the low hole there, we'll say, 2 steps. So inside foot, outside foot, then back. And by then the offensive tackle will hopefully have a problem, figuring out who's coming, who isn't. In ear there, we just, end on running back. So wherever this running back goes, you got him. And if you don't got him, now you just keep on coming.
Now, question here, Coach, going back to that diagram real quick. How often is your rat player to the field compared to the boundary in terms of what you're doing?
A good question. We care more about mixing it up and kind of finding where their dudes are. I've just got them numbered 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I don't ever care if they're H's or Z's or whatever. To the defense, we number them. So that's what I do on huddle like that. But we want to see if we can find a kid, and we'll adjust it like auto rat to the to the best receiver, kind of jersey number, and we'll double up that jersey guy too, like Belichick style, and make sure Chad Johnson in your neck of the woods had a bad night. But yeah, we kind of try to change it up, and if we can bail a guy from the field, that gives us a lot of benefit, because that's oftentimes where we'll have the most kind of screens coming back in, tunnel, China, alley screens kind of coming. So you got some you can cloud that up over there, which is good stuff, I've always felt. Yeah, but getting to this clip here, again, kind of smaller guys at D tackles even here, and this is really early in the game, and we were wondering how much reading they're going to do of us. So we slid the D line up top, and at this point we were peeling early just to kind of show them that we're going to prepare to do that at all times. Yeah, and it works out really well for us here as we get a TFL on a swing, and not all these plays are going to be as good as this one naturally, but we're in good shape with this kid staring right at this guy, and kind of like that exchange I've seen on Twitter where I was going to send this Will up B gap and peel the end. That can be really helpful. A lot of times where the offensive line just doesn't see that coming. So yeah, real good hustle, just good stuff, and just try to keep the quarterback and offensive coordinator kind of thinking at least a little bit about what they're doing and why they're doing it. This one, we're back to base personnel with a forefront as well. I think because we peel here, the underzones can be cloudy, and we're making the quarterback kind of throw it up to where our big cornerback, we got a nice, awesome athlete. He's maybe 6'2", and our post safety is lurking there too, and we get an interception of the deal. We're going to peel on the bottom, and hopefully he's not positive it's coming. Checking it out. And then now we just got two kind of get double rat there as well.
Now, what do you tell your linebackers there for initial footwork on in terms of reading this and dropping?
Sure. I want them to run out, crossover run, both directions, and get under this number 5, this slot receiver here. Get under him, snap your head. We call it tennis bounce with your feet, but there's not much to it. It's kind of a pass first quarterback. And we had so many leads in so many games that we played from ahead, which was awesome, and you can make them kind of one-dimensional. So as soon as those offensive linemen are popping up, you got to get popping up yourself and crossover run out of there and get yourself some depth.
Okay.
Sometimes we were awesome with that. Sometimes we weren't. Again, I got to make sure they know when we're peeling, when we're not. This little guy here on the 30, on the 30, we're not going to recycle his pads. His pads are absolutely no reconditioning there. They're spent. This guy's a hitter, but he does a nice job of getting depth to about 10. The rat on the top, little shallow, but he does get a chuck on their receiver and causes the quarterback, just kind of toss it up a little bit. This isn't where the quarterback would want the ball to go to. Yeah. Just takes away the space. It's not ideal. And then if you can get heat with your horse pass rusher, I got a man up top there. It's best case scenario. Yeah, so it works out for us there. Rabbit's different from ear in that both ends, neither end is rushing. So they're gonna read the running back, and now we're sending gut heat. And Adam Gaylor, I want to say for Jenks, is really good at tossing this stuff on Twitter. And this way you still get 4 guys going, you still heating them up, but you got to read, and now you got to have athletic guys. It's just another different change up. And you can kind of gradually kind of shift around as you're going. I've actually seen the Cincinnati Bengals run this one where really looks like that free safety is locked up, but he's not. And if you just spin that, it's just the simplest little play ever. Same thing, different jobs. We just don't like a ton of zone against this team. He's just too accurate. He's too darn mobile. He's going to find windows. He's going to if you give receivers too much space, he's going to find it. So here we've got a twist on top, a speed rush by our 3 technique on the bottom. It's a great shake by their running back. I felt our guy should have gone straight to the running back, tighter, less space, the easier the tackle is. He doesn't make the tackle here, but our free post safety gets a tackle for a turnover because it is 4th and 12, and they turn it over on downs. If you can force a quick throw, that's going to help you. And here they're motioning to see what we're doing. And sometimes, that's good offense. That's just the way they're going to run it, and it's good stuff. And we're helping on the top receiver, kind of 1 double jersey number, because it's such a good player. But the twist works up top. The 3 technique burns right by the guard. And we got guys covered up everywhere. It's a really nice catch and run by this kid. Great target by that quarterback, I felt. And the tighter our rat guy gets, he kind of shows a little bit, and he should really, really tighten. I like that he does go for the outside leg. That's smart, because we've got guys coming from the inside attack the inside leg.
Now, do you ever, when you get motion like that, do you ever just bump guys just to help hide your man, or is it always just run with?
Yeah, sometimes we have bumped guys. In this game, we had game planned a lot of matchups where jersey numbers really, really mattered based on our guys' size and speed. And sometimes we have just bumped out, slid everything so this, they're not even sure what's coming, especially when we ran that 7 across second level.
Okay.
A bit like Tampa Bay had 3 safeties quite a bit in the Super Bowl. We've done some of that too, where you're just not sure what they're doing and where they're going and how they're going to wind up. That's all good stuff. The more you can disguise, the better, of course. Just another look at, kind of sending the edge and kind of showing that you're not coming off, you're not coming anywhere. But if you get that edge coming, oftentimes the offensive linemen don't see him, and you're still getting accomplished what you want in this one. Again, wedge, just will off the edge. And we've mixed these up. Sometimes we've had 1-word calls that apply and say a lot more than, a whole bunch of signals. I've seen it, done both ways. We've done it both ways. One year we just had something we called Bobcat, and it meant all kinds of different things. The Lynx is our mascot, and we'll come up with different stuff against different opponents. Anything from Colonel to, a Raider, and it can mean all kinds of different things. But the more you keep playing the same people, the more they're interested in your signals and your calls. So you gotta signal some stuff like baseball that means absolutely nothing, I've always felt.
Yeah.
All right, so play 23 here. We're in a sub package. We're bringing 6 here. We're disguised as well, and we wind up getting a sack. And they're so well coached that they're going to test you here, and then he's not going to take a big loss. He's not going to chuck up a duck either. So really impressive coaching and really impressive execution by this quarterback. He feels pressure. He finds a way to lose just minimal yardage. Our nose here has to get more left more. He's kind of leaving a seam there that the quarterback just about took. We played these guys twice this year, and the quarterback did a really nice job of finding some creases. Trying to show cover 1 early. We're in pretty good shape coverage-wise all over the place if you're getting this much heat. Sometimes you just got to bring more than they can protect. Other times you might want to tell the defensive ends or the edges that there's no reading involved here. You're not looking at the running back. You're not worried about the running back at all, and you're just getting there in a hurry. So echo would just be end to curl or end to. And scout means stud out of the blitz. So
yeah,
we try to make it mean something. The Mike and Will here typically would go, but if the running back's on your side, now the Rover and Mike can just go. So Mo could become a Ram or some other sort of term. But anytime you put pressure on centers, man, after snapping that ball is good stuff. And sometimes you got to lock, make it look like cover one as long as you can, and make it cover zero. And if you got free guys, make them the rat free guys. Got to keep in offensive coordinators' heads like yours. Thrilled about your promotion, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. So play 24 here, we get kind of a rub or a pick, then poor tackling. It's a really good read by the quarterback and really nice delivery. We're in our sub package here where we've subbed, kind of a run stuff and linebacker out and a defensive lineman. Here, I'm not sure why our bottom guy didn't come through that B gap super hard. It's just a way to keep coaching them and keep emphasizing perfection and kind of show them where things don't work and why they don't work. And really nice delivery by this kid. And they started understanding, hey, if we run the Brandon Valley guys into each other, then maybe we can get a little more done, or if we just go pick them.
Yeah. Now, do you ever, out of curiosity, because I'm looking at a lot of your boxes, do you ever worry about teams like checking runs or draws or so forth with how you're aligning? I mean, obviously, a lot of these situations are obvious pass situations and long situations, but is that ever a concern for you?
For sure. Yep. And that's when we just try to mix it up in the front and twist guys around, make it bounce, especially when we run our 4-2 stuff. We just spill everything. We just have really heavy alleys with guys,
okay.
Really big, tough kids that can cover out there too and make it spill out to them where there's just no blocking left. Just keep making it bounce and hop laterally and get a lot done there. Or we'll try to spook the play caller with just heat in early downs, where we're just firing guys up inside there and playing smaller guys than they have. You can see they're about their center guard are 290, if not 310, 315. They're all D2 guys for sure right in there. And we're trying to play smaller, quicker guys in this game and just get them running by them and being able to shock and shed and two gap to the extent that they're in a gap and then they can wipe into another one in a hurry. But yeah, I mean it's definitely a concern in any situation, because you could still run the ball here for a manageable fourth down in field position. This team's run game was kind of like our run game in the past has been, where we just complete short passes and kind of call that our run game. So they wanted to kind of sling it around, and I think he had 42 attempts in this game against us here. We won at 35-14. We did pick him off 3 times, thankfully. Otherwise, it could have been a different outcome. Which is good football by that kid. Just again, kind of showing an edge, and you can run it at your base and sub packages where you're walking guys up and bailing them, or kind of bluff a wedge here and just call it wham. Will to middle rat hole type thing where it just makes sense for a kid, and just keep making it cloudy and keep them guessing up inside there so their gaps are not clean, because when you like you said, when you show a light box, you just kind of dare them to run, and if they're going to start pounding on you, then you better make some adjustments and some changes in a hurry. It's all chess. This one here, we're in a sub package again. We tried to put number 14 on number 6 a lot, and they check that out up top. You can see him coming in motion. We just kind of put dudes on dudes, like Coach Garrow's decree has always been. He's moving on. The rat here should see the quarterback more and definitely see number 6.
Yeah.
Okay, comes in motion here. And our rat's going to come from the top, and I'd love for him to see the quarterback's neck, because at no point his posture or his demeanor, however you want to say it, at no point does he look like he's wanting to deliver the ball to the running back here. they're moving 6 on purpose, and it was a good scheme, and our kid put a good lick on him, thankfully.
Now is motion typically the biggest way in try to get some sort of isolation? The biggest way they try to attack this against you guys, or what is the or is it pick routes? What is kind of the most common way teams try to attack you, and you have to kind of practice heavily?
Sure. They'll go backside and 3x1 or even 4x1. Um, they'll pick us in this game, motioning us, or just aligning them too, where we're in weird spots. We've had guys take their best dude and put him in the backfield, seeing if you just put a linebacker on him or an edge, and just kind of take advantage of your personnel that way. We've had teams trade, tight ends and wings to try to mess with your fits and your front to kind of see if your front is matching up with your back end.
Yeah.
But that's another sort of quiz for your kids on the fly, and it's you don't want them to be pop quizzes. I've always said you want to have anything go wrong be your fault, not theirs. Right, so it's just too much space for this kid. He's they're going to complete this one most of the time. We're giving too much attention. You got to cover something, and you can't cover everything. Sometimes if you get too uptight about covering the entire field, you won't get much done. But we're giving too much to the boundary here, and not enough to their real star athlete, number 6. He was torching teams for a long, long time there. I love the hustle in this picture. Make sure that's happening for everybody. We actually did less pursuit drill than we've ever done this season. I think in some ways, when we did it, it was like, super emphasized and super important, and we didn't gas anybody out. But
now, was that because of COVID procedures and time limitations, or is that just because there's so much other stuff that needed done?
Yeah, just more needed done. We didn't emphasize it quite the same, and we did some position condition where they weren't just running cross country. They're getting in shape with a purpose.
Yeah.
We just found that we're really a good pursuit team and a fast team, and that we just didn't want to wear them out as well. For Friday night games.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good question though. It's fun to reflect on. Like, wait a second, we might have had better pursuit when we did it less often.
Well, that's like we went to 1 day this year instead of 2 days, just because the fact that with COVID procedures and who's monitoring who while they're on break and all that lovely stuff, and we just extended the practice by maybe like 20-30 minutes, and it was so efficient that it's like, why do I need at least for what we were doing, that it kind of just made sense, and it's kind of like reflections like, oh, okay, I get the exact same thing. If you can be efficient with your time, you got everything you do, and kind of as you reflect on stuff, that's kind of where the best is.
Totally right. Totally buying that. And the kids can tell. The kids can tell when you're efficient and caring about their time and their lives, and getting them off their feet when you can. And yeah, they always appreciate it. There's a reason there's celebration when a lineman catches a punt or something. Yeah. So, a couple more, I guess. We're kind of sub package again here. We're trying to make sure that the box looks different than what winds up, happening. More motioning out of the backfield in this case, just to open up a window, and it's really cloudy in there. But that running back number 22 kind of heads straight for our guy. It doesn't really make sense, these routes, unless you're going to throw it like this and kind of try to get after the defense this way. But that cover one, every time you have a deep guy back there, it's just so comforting and reassuring to know that if this guy keeps going, number 22 is going to dump him, going to take him down, and at least we'll live to see another day. And we're really proud in this game that they had some explosive plays, but nothing like 40 or even more. Nothing really, really insane gains. And you got to play the game with your offense as well. Like, being an offensive coach, like you are, Coach Bandstra, you got to work with your defense about how much risk are they going to take? What are they going to do? and when are they going to do it? So here we just wanted to make sure that we could control the clock and that they couldn't score super quickly.
Yeah.
Make them earn it type stuff, and make high school teams get greedy or just get out of their mode or out of their off schedule. And the more you do that kind of stuff, the better. Just kind of test them and see if you can wear them down gradually too. Here's more motion out of the backfield, but in this case, he's not looking for the hole anymore. He's looking for the deep side pocket, and it's a real nice pass. The motion definitely gives this guy a lot of information. We've looked at some stuff where we need to mix up some zones a little bit better here.
Yeah.
And we're sending 5. It kind of feels like we're getting them wasted. They just got all these horses up front and just kick sliding and locking us up. So you find a guy where you're wasting a guy, if you ever are. Empty's a whole different animal,
Yes.
of course. But
I think empty and double tights are like the two, just because I've been at DC once before, and those are two whole different animals on how you attack those, what's best, and what kind of works from team to team.
Totally right. Yep, totally agree. Double tights with all those gaps. A real nice play by our kid. It's one of their bigger gains, and just gorgeous pass, great catch, and maybe a fumble. Yeah, I think it was. I think they gave us a fumble, but we didn't get on it in time before it squirted out of bounds. But sometimes you got to tip your hat to the kid. And empty, you got to have different checks and different stuff where, sometimes I think it's always been best to waste blockers, like you step into them and then you get out of there. That's been really effective against us as well. We've taken on some teams that are real salty at doing that all of a sudden now you can't hit under routes like you want, and you got free rushers coming because you only have so many linemen.
Yeah.
Empty's a different ball game, which is really fun part of I love seeing answers that people have too. This one here, all right, we're sending 6 again. We almost get the PBU. We're definitely getting people to the ball, thankfully. We've got a decent cup to prevent the big gain. Kind of looks like cover 1 early. It's meant to anyway. Then we're just having 14 trail 6 all over the place. And then our deep high guy is gonna lock the running back. I'm not sure we would have had enough people here if we weren't running this one.
Yeah.
We might have had because a lot of offensive plays are going to exploit your numbers and your angles. If our free safety heads up top with the motion, and I think they're trying to draw it. I think they're trying to draw a double coverage up there, a bracket of some kind. And thankfully we're in this call instead, because we're just going to trust our guys all over the place. So we kind of get an edge rush who just about gets PBU in the steal, but he kind of chips the blocker and he gets back involved in the action. Could hustle better there. Could be part of a long drive, how that goes. Yeah, so we try to make it really look like this guy's got the running back. And that this guy would be free over the top, so we'd have some cloudiness underneath and cloudy up top on the same side of the field. Coaching points on this one. If we were concerned they're going to run the ball up in there, they've got their bigger running back in now. Now it's not 22, it's 35. He's a horse, and he can really break some tackles. Here we're just kind of stunting our little guys around, and we have a 4-man rule where as soon as this guy comes in motion here, now we want the edge guy to stand up and go to a 2-point. He gets good and wider. We do want to bring our 3 technique to a 4 as well. He can still play B gap from a 4, but he can get a bigger piece of that offensive tackle. and then they can't roll out as easily. The 4-man rule, so it's 3 receivers plus a running back all on your side. Now sprint outs, become more likely. But the 3 technique stays there because he's stunting, and if he's not stunting, that the quarterback might take off for the first down here on 4th and 3. And I think they know who's covering who, but they didn't necessarily know who's blocking who.
Yeah.
So 3 tech wraps, does a nice job. A quarterback feels that, senses that, and kind of throws it pretty quickly here. Throws a little squirrel route. We call it a squirrel. We've got routes called squirrels and possums and all kinds of stuff up here. But nice play. I think he got a piece of the ball. Our guy here, they're running, various sprint out friendly routes. So you just got to contain him.
Yeah.
As well as get somebody in his face in a hurry. I think the interior twist would help against the run as well. And this is our base front. Additionally, where we've got a 4 front, but we've kind of made it look a bit like our sub package, where we've got stand-up guys on the edges and a middle hitter. You just cannot let this guy outside, and I'm proud of our edge guy for taking off.
That's a good job at setting the edge, and then like you said, the twist there kind of helps take away that lane.
Exactly. Yeah. Then this guy's got these 2 have the sprint, sprint out lane there, and if he wraps even tighter, then he's in better shape. But quarterback sees too many black jerseys to keep hold of the football. Really good team. Had to mess with them as much as we could without confusing ourselves. Proud of our edge guy with his right arm there, just real good. He's under the pad, he's peeling that guy up, and the running back's having to care about him too. Good stuff. Here's a really nice pass, catch, run. The rat eyes, again, need to be better. Should ignore the running back as he's locked. It's tricky. It's so tempting. Offenses for years have been, getting you to jump the chump, as we say, where you cover what you can see, not what you can't. And I try to say, hey, if you can see something widening you, it's because something's trying to go right where you've been. There's too many full man pass rushes here. Bull rushing can be good, especially if you're gaining ground. But at some point, you got to wipe off and get in the quarterback's face. And your quarterback didn't run a ton, but when they do, that's when we want to bull rush more, so that you can kind of get a half tackle on him. Here's that concept where motion and then see if they can get it right inside you. It's good stuff by them. And excellent run after the catch. Really slippery. They run a sweet play with this kid too, where he'll come this shallow. Imagine not motioning, and these guys will just start blocking. And if he catches that at the line of scrimmage, it's technically within the rules.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely nothing's perfect, but we ran it pretty well in a lot of situations, and got a lot accomplished with it. Proud to get our guys, playing tight to receivers and trusting them. And a couple of them said after this game, hey, thanks for trusting me with that job. Thanks for, empowering us to, know enough and stay with our guys and just not cover grass and space and air, because as we all know, those don't catch any passes. Kind of a bit about leverage up top here. I'm definitely okay with him outside leverage at the corner position there, is because he knows he's got some inside help. we like to mix it up too. Like sometimes, give them the fade release, other times not, and just mix that up, because then they're not sure just exactly what they're getting. And when that happens, if you get just a half a second, now you're getting incompletions, tips, overthrows, interceptions, sacks, all the best kind of plays you want.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of stuff I've kind of learned over the years and taken from other coaches and developed our own stuff to help our kids. We try to run it JV, freshmen as well. So it's nothing new to anybody.
Now, when you, the last question I got for you before we go is,
Great.
what's your typical like coverage install schedule? How long does that typically take, and how many days you spend on each coverage before you add the next one?
Good question. We'll go, one day we'll emphasize one coverage, and, then the next we'll have another, then the third we'll have another, and a lot like class where you're teaching a concept, you want to build on it, so you'll go back and revisit it. So we'll have sometimes in fall camp, we'll have 3 coverages, 3 different days, but we'll be reviewing the first one on the second day and both on the third, so they're not just completely like, because kids will move on mentally. They'll be, okay, now I get that we're learning this. If you don't revisit it, then they're not sure how the series can work together, or how the whole package comes together.
Okay.
So we'll definitely revisit it, or for a given week in fall camp, and everybody's time's limited, we'll just emphasize what we really care about, and that's this, where we're going to be manned up a lot, and you're going to have some help, and you got to know where it's from, and how cover 0 is different from cover 1, and then we'll call it cover 5 or 52, where we're locking all 5. Now we got 2 free. How is that different, and what kind of trail technique and leverage do you want there instead? And so if you just build on it for kids, then they become much more confident, and they'll play like men for you.
Okay. Well, coaches, that was another episode of the Got Down Backer podcast. Coaches, make sure you follow Coach on Twitter. His Twitter bio, because I can't enunciate today, will be in the bio of the video. Make sure you check out our sponsors, our affiliates, the Patreon for bonus content. That'll all be below as well. If there's any particular part you want to go back to, tags will be below as usual. And then make sure you like and share this video so other coaches can, or the audio of this, so other coaches can find this and also reach out to Coach, and so we can continue to spread knowledge. Thank you again, and like I said, that was another episode of the Gap Down Backer podcast.